legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing out. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on the battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. You can't control this, it's 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 explosive.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We welcome you to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series. There it is. Yes. This doesn't seem the same if we don't have that. Welcome to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series, the trucks here at Richmond. We're short track racing, baby. Virtual Richmond, round number 4 of the year. Welcome to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller, how was your weekend? We're ready to go short track racing in virtual Commonwealth State tonight.
Yeah, man, it was good. Glad to be here tonight. Obviously, doing a little bit of short track racing action here tonight. I always love the trucks at Richmond here on iRacing. One of my favorite car track combos. I've had some success here myself. Really, really awesome track to drive. It's very difficult. You kind of have to get into a rhythm. So it's going to be interesting to see tonight. I know qualifying is just obviously starting, or at least has started, and we're already seeing some drivers take to the track here tonight. This is going to be a race where two things. One, tires, and more tires, even though that was more than two things. And then the second thing, obviously, point B, being do not wreck coming off turn 2. We have seen a lot of drivers get loose, get up into that wall on the exit of turn number 2 off of that little hump, and then all of a sudden you could see calamity coming off of corner number 2 here tonight. So that's probably my two big things to keep an eye for here tonight.
Definitely keep an eye on all of that. As we have, of course, right now the drivers on the racetrack. They are shaking the trucks down, getting ready for, if you will, the opportunity to qualify here around virtual. Lowther into the wall, spins it around as he crosses the start-finish line, hightailing it back into turn number 1. Oh, that's not good for the 63. Todd Miles is up now.
Yeah, that was definitely not something that you want to happen here, because I tell you what, it is really difficult to pass here with obviously everybody being really on edge and on speed here at Richmond. So you want to make sure that you have a good qualifying run right now. Dan West Jr., last week's winner from Las Vegas, Nevada, top of the boards right now with a 21.730. We'll see if anybody's going to be able to top that here. So qualifying is definitely going to play a big factor. I would only imagine you could probably see one of these drivers or whoever wins here tonight is going to come out of the top 10. You look at the top 6 last year, all those drivers started in the top 10. So it just goes to show you that I think qualifying is going to be a very important factor here this evening. And also, just having straight up a bad fast truck.
We welcome you to the Ford Owners 160 here tonight. 160 laps around the 3/4 mile Richmond Raceway. Chad Malik, his Toyota, just finishing up with qualifying. Hopefully we got trade and paints fixed again and got all the wrap jobs right as Terry Ackerman, Folds of Honor Ford, on the racetrack now, ready to qualify.
Yeah, you saw that truck right there coming off turn number 2, Wesley. Kind of almost had a little bit of a bite off turn number 2. Nearly took a chunk out of the outside wall, but thankfully he was able to keep it going. And he'll be on the board right now with a 22.043. That'll slot him inside the top 10, currently in the 9th position. Still DWJ. Right now with the pole, there's Robert Gamble in the 54 machine, the Aero Kinetics Chevy Silverado, taken to the racetrack. And here's a thing to note coming into tonight, Wesley. When you look at last year's race, they only ran Richmond once. They did not run it in the springtime. They elected to run it during the playoffs in their 2023 schedule for season number 10. But when you look at the top 3 finishers from last year's race, it was all win racing. Ryan Bloom comes into tonight as the defending race winner, obviously, and led 101 laps last year, the most laps led of the race. Second went to Dennis Moore, and third went to last year's pole sitter, Kevin Smith. He's somehow, some way, like the Rocket Man of the Northwest. You think back to Ryan Newman always being the fast driver and qualifying in the early 2000s. That's who Kevin Smith seems to be. He's just got to kind of find a way to start on the pole and win the race. But I expect win racing to be very, very fast here this evening.
Robert Gamble, Team Aerokinetics Sim team right there in the number 54, finishing up with his qualifying run. And here's Brett Johnson, been good in weeks of late. Obviously, Team LSRTV has been on a roll, if you will, Jason, for the first 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah, they've been doing really good, obviously. Brett Johnson, coming into tonight right now, currently sits. As I'm trying to find him right now, it looks like Brett Johnson is
14th in the point.
Yeah, 14th in the point standings. No top 10s, no top 5s, but obviously Team LSRTV's been very strong so far. Out of the first 3 races so far this season, you think about it, obviously, Jeff Stabnow, he's got to win. He won at the beginning of the season at Daytona, Sean Brightsman, and then obviously Dan West Jr. in the 55 machine. So all LSRTV drivers. So, I mean, they look strong. They might be able to compete against Win Racing tonight, but Kenneth Garber actually goes up to the top of the boards. But again, don't count out Kevin Smith, second currently on the board, and Ryan Bloom right behind him in third. Those Win Racing drivers are going to be battling with the LSRTV guys probably all night long.
Jeff Stabnow, as we mentioned, winner of the Daytona 200, his second Daytona 200. Slick and Greasy 200 at Atlanta went to Sean Brightsman and obviously Dan West Jr. All 3 drivers part of Team LSRTV CRN, winning, of course, last week in the Roll the Dice 201 at Las Vegas. Tonight, here at Richmond, first short track race of the year as well. And, you know, Jason, it's just a different feel from obviously the super speedway or the intermediate tracks. This is short track racing. There's going to be bumping. There's going to be banging. There might be some hurt feelings. But obviously at the end, the most important thing is to try to get to the finish of this race. As we see Frank Harris on track qualifying.
Yeah, it's always different, you know, kind of that different scenario. And when you look at the short tracks, they're kind of like a driver's racetrack, just like a road course. You know, you have to be good at them in order to succeed. You don't necessarily luck out at one of these short tracks. And when you do, it is once in a blue moon. So you have to make sure that you have a fast truck. You have to have the practice put into a race like tonight here at Richmond. And really just in general. Most tracks are like that, but there's no tracks where you probably need more practice at and need a good car, and you have to like the racetrack quite like the short tracks and also the road courses.
Ron Hunter on course now, the Hunter Performance number 30. Here comes Devin West. Devin West, by the way, coming off of a pole last Monday night at Virtual Las Vegas. We'll see what the Shelton, Washington driver can do. The defending series champion also of the trucks. Ready to roll out here on the track in the number 5.
Yeah, last week he led the most laps at Las Vegas, and even though he finished 10th and started first, I mean, it was a great run for the 5 machine. Strategy just didn't play to his favor. In fact, it played to his father, DWJ, Dan West Jr., like we mentioned. Devin went on to lead 46 laps. That was the most laps led all night long. Dan West Jr. led 22 of those laps that we ran. Kevin Smith led some as well. He led 29. Ryan Gormley did really, really well there in third. He got 18 laps led under the belt. So this 5 machine looking to continue that strong run. The performance, you know, like you mentioned, Wesley, last year's champion. This kid is always so fast, and he is the hot commodity probably of the Northwest Truck Series that I could probably give an opinion on. And he's just really, really fast. That's all there is to it. And right now, guess what? Top of the board for the 5 machine, trying to get 2 poles in a row. And we'll see if he can hold out here.
Good lap put down here at the Ford Owners 160. Let's take a look real quickly at the Hunt the Front TV race analysis. My apologies. Well, obviously having some technical issues with that. 100 laps tonight. 2 attempts at overtime if need be. But here is the Kaufman creative weather conditions. Jason, it is mostly cloudy, but holy cow, dude, it looks like it's also a fog machine out there too.
Yeah, we were just joking about that before the start of the broadcast. I asked Charles over there in the production booth. I was like, man, why in the heck is it so dang foggy on this racetrack? It was giving me Pocono 2017 or 2016 vibes. Remember when that fog rolled in off the mountains? But obviously it's not that bad yet. So obviously Chris Buescher picking up his first Cup Series victory that day in the Pocono Mountains. But it's going to be an interesting race. You don't have the heat beating down from the sun on the racetrack, but that track temperature at 89 degrees is still fairly hot. We've already seen a lot of drivers in practice and qualifying go slipping and sliding throughout this racetrack on all four ends of it. It's going to make for an interesting race, I think, for sure. But these drivers are definitely going to have a lot more grip than they would in the sunny conditions, or at least partly cloudy. But with a complete cloud cover like this, you still got to be careful. So don't underestimate the racetrack.
Round 4 Northwest Racing Series trucks, and it's the Ford Owners 160. And yeah, it's daytime conditions, but boy, it seems like it's like early morning, if you will, with the sim time being what it is. Obviously, we'll keep an eye and watch and see if conditions improve along the way. No doubt right now, 87 degrees on the track temp, or 88 on the track temp, and hitting 70 degrees outside here in the virtual sim world of Richmond Raceway. Qualifying has concluded, and what a lap. 2 poles in a row, 21.544 seconds, and the starting lineup is set for round number 4 of the Northwest Racing Series Trucks Season 11, ready to go at Richmond. On the pole, Devin West on the pole, second pole in a row this last week at Vegas as well. Tonight at Richmond, the prodigy Ryan Gormley make up row 1. Row 2, Sean Brightsman, obviously the Atlanta winner. Kenneth Garber alongside in the 94. Row 3, Jeff Stabnow, Daytona 200 winner, and Smith, the boss of Win Racing, in the 00. Row 4 will find Ryan Bloom and Christopher White, a former Cup Series champion. Top 10, Dan West Jr., 2-time Series champion, and the winner, obviously, last week at Vegas. And Troy Daggett has been doing this good year. Has been doing good for the start of this year for row 5.
Yeah, rounding out your top 20, row number 6, you'll find Chad Malik and Frank Harris, who has had a stellar season so far from our standards up here in the booth there on the outside of row 6. Row number 7, you will find, it looks like it will be Dennis Moore, who remember finished top 3 here 1 year ago, and Paul Newton in the 27 machine. Row number 8, Jordan Person in the number 20 machine. Haven't heard that name, I believe. And Dan Lowther in the 63 machine. Row number 9, you'll find Roy Grande and Brian Barnes, who is off to a great start so far in 2024. And rounding out your top 20, row number 10, Cliff for the Big Red Dog, Toby Ritters in the number 3 machine, and Stephen Paulson in the 58.
What a beautiful field assembled there behind the pace car on the front lane of pit road, or on the front straightaway, actually. Tyler King, Terry Ackerman making up row 11. Row 12 will find Stefano Harris, William Fletcher in the field against the roll behind the pace car. Row 12. Row 13, Ron Hunt, Troy Allison back again with the series. Row 13. Row 14 will find Todd Miles and Bryce Clark. Starting 28th. Starting 30th will be Robert Gamble, Chris Kynes. Row 16, Dana Rogers, John Ottenbacher, the Billings, Montana driver. Row 17, Brian Reynolds and Brett Johnson. 34 trucks. Wow, we're still going. BJ Tidrick and Ray Fournier, followed by Joshua Cushman, Chase Carrillo. How about that, Jason? 38 trucks to go here tonight at Richmond.
Yeah, that is a huge field, but also gives the opportunity for massive, massive wrecks. Hopefully we don't see a lot of that tonight, like we saw at Richmond the past few weeks when they obviously ran it in not only official week, but also eNASCAR. We saw a lot of that in the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series. Lots of wrecks throughout the splits, lots of wrecks throughout the leagues we cover here on LSRTV as well. Hopefully we don't see much of that there, but this is going to be a very interesting race, possibly some strategy, maybe short runs. We don't know. We're going to have to find out and see here.
160 laps, again the distance in the Ford Owners 160. Devin West and Ryan Gormley, they're on the front row. Pace car is on the pit lane. Foggy conditions, mostly cloudy, very cloudy. It doesn't matter. We're green, round 4 at Richmond. And you have a virtual race. Let's watch them stride for stride, carry it up to the turn 1 and 2, short track style. Devin West to the lead on the back stretch on lap 1.
And while he takes the lead away, you see right behind them battling there for second place. Here comes Sean Bryceman, the Atlanta winner, down to the bottom of Ryan Gormley, who had a great run here, or not here, but rather last week at Las Vegas. They're going to battle side by side while Kevin Smith takes a look on the bottom of the LSRTV machine of Jeff Stabnow coming off turn 2.
Smith and Stabnow. We got trouble back in the back of the pack. I think Pearson has gone around the number 20 machine. We still stay green. No caution. That was the number 20 of Jordan Pearson, or Person, actually. I want to say Person. Jordan Person going around, but we still stay under the green flag. No caution.
Yeah, and that's because he was so far down below the racetrack surface that iRacing did not deem it as a caution that was necessary to be thrown. And obviously he was able to get back rolling, didn't really get spun around, just kind of got sideways, locked it down, but then was able to drive away. Still side by side going on now for what would be the 4th position. Smith still working to the inside here of Stabnow coming off turn number 2. Everybody has pretty much got single filed out. Now Smith tags along back behind the 24 machine as they wrap around 3 and 4.
This race right here will kind of wrap up the first month of competition for these drivers as they're single file. Jason, what's your take of the first 4 weeks of the season for the series?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to say the least, probably, Wes. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys who we didn't really see, obviously, the last couple seasons that I've been a part of LSRTV in the Northwest here. So it's been really cool to see them compete. Drivers like we talk about, Frank Harris. Actually, Frank Harris, I believe, has actually gone around off turn number 4. Yeah. Oh, big hit to the 77 machine. And boy, I hate to be that guy who talks good about Frank Harris and then something like that happens, but it all started coming off turn number 4.
Caution coming out. First time of the race. Let's see what took place here as Harris right over the front of the nose of the 99 of Daggett, and then here comes the impact. Oh, no. Oh, Dana Rogers.
Yeah, that's a heartbreak right there for that 77 machine, man. I mean, he just got loose, and even if the 99 didn't tag him there, Wesley, I still think Frank would have gotten sideways and spun, but I think he would have been pretty much in the grass to the point where there wasn't going to be a caution. But obviously stuff like that happens here. It's so early in this race. You got fresh tires. You're trying to utilize them to the best of your ability. And coming off these corners, it's just so slick. You get back to the gas too early, let the car kind of slide out back up to the wall off 4, and you just find yourself going around, similar to what you would see normally off turn 2.
And I would say this, we're still too early into it. 7 laps, 8 laps when they come to the line. I don't see anybody coming to pit road right now.
No, definitely not. Way too early to pit. I mean, if it was probably about maybe a 20-lap run, you would definitely see guys come down pit road. But 8 laps is just way too early here. I mean, yes, they're going to have some laps on their tires when they come to the restart zone here. I don't think it's going to play a factor. You won't see guys spin the tires. There's not enough tire wear with these 4 Goodyear Eagles on these trucks right now. So, yeah, it's just way too early to pit. The fuel window, probably something we'll talk about later on. Usually we're used to these races going long green flag runs here, but with the big field that we have here tonight, Wesley, we might very well see short runs.
Caution out in the early going right here is again Devin West, Sean Breitzman, couple of Team LSRTV drivers up there. Jeff Stabnow right there behind Ryan Gormley in 4th. And then you got Win Racing in the mix as well with Kevin Smith, Brian Bloom. Top 6 right now on the racetrack as it stands. And again, hopefully we should get the 1-to-go indication here. I don't see really any efforts of anybody coming down to the pit lane except for service to get done with Rogers or Frank Harris. And here's something you got to remember. If you're new to the series, as the lights go off on the safety car, with 1 to go. Jason, there is no fast repairs this year. I am becoming a fan of that. I really am.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only because of the fact that it brings more realism to the sim here, but also the fact is that it gives these guys, less leeway. Like, hey guys, don't wreck. Don't be driving, all the way up, driving your guts out and trying to get up towards the front, and next thing you know, you're spinning people out. So it just gives these guys less leeway, and they have to take care of the drivers around them and obviously take care of themselves as well.
So the lights off on the pace car. Field comes back to the Geico restart zone, and Devin West gets a flawless restart away from everyone behind them. Gormley, Brightsman, Stabnow, Smith all check up. Now they're 2 by 2, and now they work the back stretch with still West in the corner leading to 3.
Ryan Bloom just barely brushed the wall coming off turn number 2. Nearly got into the right rear quarter panel there of Kevin Smith. Actually, he's going to cross him over here off turn 4, down the front straightaway. Cuts right in front of Kenneth Garber entering the corner, but it's still Kevin Smith who's able to hold that spot over Bloom. And now Smith trying to go to the inside of Jeff Stabnow entering turn 3. Oh, he gives him around. He's around.
Stabnow got him fixed. Got him back going again. He loses many spots, but Stabnow still stays in the gas and will stay green. But Stabnow just went from the top 5 all the way back to 12th.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wesley, what a save by the 24. I did not expect that coming into turn 3. And I don't know if the 00 kind of just came up the racetrack a little bit, or if the 24 came down, but usually you would think like something like that in the center of the corner, the 00 would probably just try to kind of catch himself and rotate. He might have just slid right up into the 24, but a heck of a job done by Jeff Stabnow to be able to save that truck and just completely save it. And now he's still running. Yes, he may have lost positions, but think about it like this. Yeah, I may have fell back and I almost wrecked, but hey, at least I didn't wreck, because remember, like you mentioned, no fast repair.
It was a shot to the left rear by the 00 of Kevin Smith that almost caused Stabnow to spin, working off the diamond of the corner in 3 and 4, heading back to the tri-oval here at Richmond Raceway. And right now, again, no harm, no foul, except for Stabnow all the way back to 12th in the efforts of saving the 424 from spinning to put out a caution flag. The leaders work the back straightaway. It's Devin West, Sean Brightsman, Ryan Bloom, the top 3, battle for 4th and 3.
Devin West has got a really fast truck on these short runs here, Wesley. He is about a 10th faster than Sean Brightsman, but now that time by the line, it was only about 200th separated the two of them. Devin's pulled out now to just over 3/4 of a second over Brightsman. Still going side by side back here, though, for the 4th position. Kenneth Garber, Ryan Gormley, they battle side by side entering turn number 3. Opens up the door for Kevin Smith to work down to the bottom of the racetrack in the start-finish.
Gormley on the outside. Here comes now Smith back to the bottom. This is that battle we mentioned for actually 5th, 6th, 7th now on the racetrack, as Dennis Moore has put his nose in that battle, as well as Dan West Jr. Big 5-6 trucks in this tango, working off of turn 4 to the line.
They come off turn number 4. Everybody gets single filed out. You see Dennis Moore right there in the 44. Kind of got a really great entry to the corner, but had to back it up because Ryan Gormley came down the racetrack exiting turn number 2. He'll get a great run here down the back straightaway. Try to go down to the bottom, but Gormley cuts him off again as they head into 3.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this battle right now as they're closing in. And a few more laps to 20 completed, 140 to go. By the way, I want to send a shout out to Jaden Ledbetter. Ledbetter was supposed to race tonight. My bad. Got distracted working on a car. All right, no problem, Jaden. Hopefully we'll have you back here next week, as we will be racing next week. That will be our final race before, correction. We race next week and then the following week, and then we'll be off on May the 6th, and that will be Texas and Kansas. And again, those tracks are totally different in the way they are in their similarity and configuration there, Jason.
Yeah, Texas is a really difficult track. You know, obviously, I just actually got done calling the FTSR Mach 1 Performance Cup Series race there Great race put on by those drivers. Congratulations to Nathan Bigard on stretching the fuel run to just save enough to the end. But that's a track that you really, it's a rhythm track, kind of like Richmond, but on a 1.5 mile configuration. You have to be careful with it. Take care of your right side tires, and when you go to Kansas, boy, man, you just got to drive the heck out of that thing there, but you still got to save a lot of tires. Multi-groove racing, progressive banking, should be a fun couple of races coming up.
By the way, got to give props to these guys. Close to 40 entries, 38 to be exact, on the track racing. And everybody is just respecting one another. There's not any aggressiveness going on here in the early going. They're knocking off laps very quickly. I know we had that one caution in the opening handful of laps, but other than that, Jason, man, what a job they're doing as we're about to be 25 laps into it.
Yeah, and everybody pretty much is still in the lead lap besides Frank Harris and Dana Rogers, who obtained damage under that first caution earlier in the race before lap number 10. And Joshua Cushman holds that final position on the lead lap, 16 seconds back at 36. So they have done a great job so far here tonight, obviously. 25 laps into this race. We're seeing some great racing all over the racetrack. But again, run is it's just still early on. We don't know who has got the clear run. I mean, you can make an argument and say that Devin West has great short to middle run speed. You see Ryan Gormley get really loose there coming out of turn number 4. Gives up the position to Dan West Jr. for 7th. Almost will probably fall back to 8th here as Christopher White in that 56 machine heads down to the bottom of the racetrack. But great racing all around. Good, clean driving as well.
Dan West Jr. right now climbing to 7th. There's that 56 of Chris White. Obviously, it's been kind of a up and down roller coaster start of the year for the 56. Gormley on the outside. Daggett will follow. Snaking, if you will, for a minute, like open wheel cars at Indy, and now they finally get back in line, nose to tail.
Yeah, everybody just looked like they got loose there coming off turn number 2. And whoa, look at Sean Breitzman. Maybe had a moment coming off turn number 4. Here comes Ken. Oh, caution is out right now. Second caution of the night, and I believe this time it could be for Bryce Clark, Ray Fournier, and Todd Miles. And there's Ray Fournier's truck. That thing is destroyed. Engine is blown.
He's probably out.
And that's going to be, yeah, that's definitely going to be end of the race for Fournier.
What a tough break for Ray Fournier. We'll see what happened to him to put us under our second caution of the race here. Watch the 26.
Oh, it just comes
wow,
up.
Just pulled up into the 62 and turned into him, and then nowhere to go. The front clip gone on the front end of the 62 as well from that impact with Ray Fournier. That's, by the way, the driver of Joshua Cushman. Oh, man. What heartbreak.
Yeah, that's a tough break, but you know, I don't necessarily feel all that bad for Ray. I mean, he knew that there was a car, or the truck rather, on the outside lane, and you have to just be more aware coming off turn number 2 like that. I can't tell you, Wesley, how many times I have seen drivers try to come off turn number 2 that think they're clear, and because of that arc in 1 and 2, it's so wide and then narrows up so quickly out of 2 down the back straightaway, where it becomes a 3 wide lane to basically 2 lanes only, and then that outside wall just comes at you in a hurry because the safer barrier jumps out at you. It's just really interesting to see. So definitely a bad break for Ray Fournier and also everybody else involved. I believe we might have some takers possibly coming down to pit road. No, we don't. It looked like they were going to.
Well, Kevin Smith dropped out of position. He came down to the pit lane, Jason. It looks like Jeff Stabnow's coming down on pit road as well. So some drivers, of course, the ones involved in the accidents also in, including Cushman, Miles, Clark, Fournier as well. Harris still on the track. He's in on pit road too. Worst guy, worse for wear out right now is 20 laps down Dana Rogers. And I don't know, Jason. I don't know if Ray Fournier can get back out there or not. He's already 3 laps down. He could be out of this race.
Oh, no, he's definitely out of this race for sure. The same could probably be said for Frank Harris, Bryce Clark as well, maybe. I mean, Ray's front end was completely gone. There was smoke coming out the back. That engine was definitely destroyed from that impact, and probably the same could be said for Bryce Clark. So their night's most likely done here at Richmond.
So under the caution flag for the second time tonight. By the way, let's take a look at the race summary as we're approaching 30 laps into it. Of the Ford Owners 160, 2 cautions, okay, 8 caution laps. No lead changes as it has been Mr. Devin West since the drop of the green, leading them here. That's presented by Virginia 811, reminding you, dig with care, call before you dig. Still under caution here.
Man, and Wesley, this is the thing too with these short run periods of time. It gives these guys a little bit more leeway to stay out longer and longer. I mean, Devin West, I agree with this call by most of the field to stay out. I mean, you're 32 laps in, yes, but you've already had 2 cautions. A few of those laps we've ran obviously under caution. So, I mean, if there's another early caution, they could go a long distance before we do see them come down pit road probably.
Lights off on the pace car. We'll set him up for a restart here with Devin West, the leader, Ryan Bloom right there alongside. Here you go now with Win Racing, front row. Sean Brightsman, Kenneth Garber, Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., Christopher White, Ryan Gormley, Troy Daggett, Dan Lowther. Remember him wrecking during qualifying. He now sits into the top 10. By the way, Jeff Stabnow, as we get ready for a restart, has fell all the way back to 33rd spot as we come back to green here at Richmond on lap 32.
Great restart for Devin West there. As you see him wrap around the middle lane there, coming off turn number 2, side by side with Brightsman and Bloom. Back to turn number 3. Behind them, you have Kenneth Garber, Dennis Moore. They're going at it for position as they hit the line this time.
I'm wondering if we could go on board with one of these drivers, Charles, with maybe Ryan Bloom or Sean Brightsman. And Jason, I wonder what it's like in the cockpit driving down the track, fighting this cloud cover. What is their peripheral vision like, if you will? Look at how cloudy, foggy it is for us on our cameras coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be affecting them just a little bit. I personally have never really ran in anything that's been foggy. Besides, I did some rain testing for the 12 hours of Sebring. I didn't participate in it, but I did a lot of testing in one of the Porsche GT3s. And it's hard to see for sure when you're on a road course, but when you're obviously on a short track, it's a little bit different, because you're only running 4 corners. There's nothing that's really blinding about this track. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can have blind corners coming off 2 and off turn number 4, especially turn number 2. I don't think the cloud cover is obviously that bad with the fog that's rolled in from practice into qualifying and now obviously the race. I think they're probably pretty okay on it.
There is the number 3 Ace High Racing entry of Toby Ritters. No, we are not fooling you. He is no longer in the 23. He's in a number 3. And right now trying to climb into the top 10. He has done that as we pick up now Dennis Moore, who's in 3rd spot. Behind him is Garber, Brightsman, and Dan West Jr. And we're closing in on 40 laps into this race here at Richmond.
And down the back straightaway they go. Dennis Moore has climbed up in that 3rd place position. He's got a little bit of clean air now. Back to Ryan Bloom, and behind them they still battle with Garber and Brightsman in top 3, West, Bloom, and Moore. West has got a 0.4 of a second gap over Ryan Bloom as they head off turn number 2. Still some great battling though all over the racetrack. Still side by side between Brightsman and Garber.
Brightsman inside Garber. Garber on the outside lane. Here comes Dan West Jr. Gormley. All right, there now single file as they work their way back into the corner again. And while that happens, still running down Devin West, the leader in the 5, the defending series champion. There's also Lowther and Ritters, as we just mentioned, in the top 10, closing in on these guys at the corner.
Yeah, You see Sean Brightsman now. He is falling back behind Kenneth Garber. Look at the 55 of Dan West Jr. just roll that outside in a great way fashion there. Coming off turn number 2. 46 of Brightsman gets a little bit loose. Gormley to the outside now. I think Brightsman is struggling just a little bit, Wesley. Noticing that car is really loose on corner exit. He's definitely having to fight that thing.
Brightsman, Gormley battling now side by side with one another as they work their way down that back stretch, the back straightaway into turn 3, 3/4 of a mile here at Richmond Raceway. And all the while right now, whoa, Gormley into the wall, down at the start-finish line. Shades of what happened to Lowther in race mode, and Lowther gets into him, and they both spin. Lowther goes around.
Goodness.
No caution, though, yet.
Yeah, and I think it's because, Wesley, they were at the bottom of the racetrack there. That's why there's no caution being thrown. And look at Ryan Gormley. He went all the way up to the safer barrier in 1 and 2. And a great avoidance by a lot of those drivers that got through that. And now, I mean, this race is just been really interesting to watch so far. 45 laps in. We've had 2 near cautions. We've had 2 real cautions. And everybody is very spread out right now. As you see Brightsman continuing to struggle in that 46 machine while Gormley tries to run him down into 1. Some technical difficulties, obviously, with Wesley Outland. I'm sure he'll be back here in just a second, but you see them work around turns 1 and 2. Roy Grande in the number 11 machine up 5 spots from where he started, just outside the top 10. Kevin Smith utilizing those 4 fresh tires to his advantage, and he'll work now around the outside of Roy Grande Jr. as they head into turn number 1 this time.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jason. I'm not sure what happened, man. Lost you. I'm back here now. O'Hare and Grande. Look at these guys going side by side again. Whoa, contact. O'Hare.
Oh!
Shades of what happened between Gormley and Lowther, and they still stay green. And while that goes on, we got a battle for the lead in lap 3, in turn 3.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Bloom. It looks like this long run is starting to pay off for the Bloom machine. Remember, 1 year ago, he was the winner for Win Racing, and now battling with the Team LSRTV machine of Devin West. He gets loose into turn number 1. He nearly loses it. A heck of a save for the driver of the number 5 machine. No contact made to the wall. No contact from Ryan Bloom to send him up the racetrack. But Devin goes from 1st to 3rd in just half a lap.
Devin West just washes up the racetrack in turn number 2, and this was like a big smile on his face, like getting a gift for Ryan Bloom. And now Dennis Moore for Win Racing battles West door to door as they go into turn 3. He ain't giving up second that easy, though.
Yeah, he definitely ain't giving up second that easy. Dennis Moore still trying to get back to the 5 machine. The 5's trying to maintain it and get back up to Ryan Bloom. And a rare mistake you see out of Devin West. You don't really see that too much there, Wesley. The 5 machine always so fast. And I think the reason for that happening with the 5 of Devin West was he tried to get to the corner. I think he wheel hopped it a little bit, got loose, and then ultimately went up the racetrack.
Bloom, West, Moore, West, Gardner. Top 5. Closing in on, believe it or not, 100 laps to go. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds for station identification. This is iRacing on LSRTV and CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Back here at Richmond Raceway, about to approach 105 laps to go, and the Ford owners 160. Welcome back to coverage on CRN as well as iRacing on LSRTV with Jason Rockefeller. I am Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten producing, directing everything here tonight for round number 4 of season 11 for the Northwest Racing Series. Meanwhile, battle for second continues between Moore and West. He finally got him cleared into 1.
Yeah, he finally got him cleared. Great move for Dennis Moore to move up into that second position there on Devin West. And I can only imagine, West, so that Devin's tires are definitely hurting him a little bit from that big slide into 1 and 2. And while they continue to try to battle for second, his father, Dan West Jr., starting to slowly close in on them. And here comes Dan Lowther down to the inside of the racetrack. This is the battle going on for 20th and 21st. Big gaggle of trucks back here into turn number 1.
You know, in years past, I would say that this race used to be 175 laps, 200 laps. They've cut the distance on the races this year for sure, Jason, on the series.
Yeah, they definitely have for sure, but obviously it gives these guys a little bit less fighting opportunity to go out there, wheel and deal, and it means they have to get up towards the front of this field. I like this call because it's kind of more of the Truck Series style in real life. If you think about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, those races are fairly short, so you really have to get up on it, wheel and deal, and you have to try to get the job done by the end of the night.
Yeah, usually the NASCAR Truck Series events are less than 200 miles, the distance, if something of that caliber, maybe 250. That's about it. As right now, we watch now inside. Daggett going after the 21 at King, and he got a little side draft, and he got loose from it. This allows Newton as well as Grande to reel them in.
And you see, obviously, Grande trying to get around them. He's right now up on the outside lane. You see Newton try to work to the bottom of Troy Daggett, who, by the way, Troy Daggett has had a fantastic start to the season. The first 3 races, he's the only driver that's gone 3 for 3 with top 5s, and he's just been so strong. And he's only back from Jeff Stabnow in the points right now by 3 points, tied with Ryan Gormley. Troy Daggett just having a stellar start to the season, wants to continue that trait and stat with, going 4 for 4 with top 5s. But right now, outside the top 10, struggling a little bit early on.
John Ottenbacher up the racetrack. Something going on with the 89 for Team LSRTV from Billings, Montana. And now we see Fletcher and Reynolds battle, the 28 and the 12. Back into the corner, under 100 laps to go. And believe it or not, we are closing in on 18 laps to the halfway mark of the race at Richmond.
Great battling all over this racetrack. Everybody's so spread out right now. As you see the 12 machine there, Briar Reynolds trying to defend Brett Johnson for that 20th place position inside the top 20. Great racing all around. They're trying to catch that 28 machine of William Fletcher. Right back behind him, you have Chad Malik. Also, Christopher White, who, if I recall, was up inside the top 10 not many laps ago, and now he is all the way back here battling for that 23rd spot. He didn't make a pit stop, so this 56 machine really struggling early on for sure.
Fletcher, Reynolds, side by side, down into 1. Johnson watches all this go on. In addition to that, Malik continuing to see all of this transpire, and all the while they're holding it together as this is going on in the top 20, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. That's where this probably best battle on the racetrack is.
Yeah, definitely the best battle on the racetrack right now. I mean, all these guys are so packed up together. They're battling really difficult, really hard right now, doing a great job in general. You see now Briar Reynolds, he is still inside the top 20, going to the bottom of Ron Hunter. Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack.
Yellow flag is out. This will be the 3rd one of the race, as it looks like, I believe, Chris Kynes with a problem. Chris Kynes, the 88 on pit road. There you see him smoking. And we'll see what happened with him, as Ottenbacher also might have got a piece of it as he's behind the wall. Let's see what happened to the 88. The Raptor Chevrolet goes around.
Oh, boy. Man,
Ottenbacher out of the race is what we're being told. Yeah, Ottenbacher's out, too.
That's a tough break. That's a beautiful looking 88 truck, obviously based off of William Byron's Raptor machine from last year, a couple of years ago there. Great scheme.
Here they
Heartbreaker
come.
to see. Here we go. Pit stop's beginning.
About to be a busy place on pit road. It looks like a lot of drivers coming down the pit lane, no doubt. Everybody, it looks like, coming down on pit road. This could be the money stop for the race, too, also, Jason.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know, obviously. I mean, we are now just under 100 laps to go in this race. They might have to pit one more time. I'm not too sure. I wasn't able to get the fuel window look before the start of this race, but they might be able to make it on fuel. I'm just not too sure. Obviously, it is a short track, just under a mile with 7/4 of a mile, basically. Looks like Ryan Bloom, though. Oh, will he beat that? No, he doesn't. Devin West beats out the 25 on pit road, goes from 3rd to 1st. Great stop for the 5.
Sean Brightsman does not pit. Kevin Smith now coming back onto the pit lane, and everyone else behind them will catch up to the 46. We're underway at Richmond in the Ford Owners 160. We're back in a moment from iRacing on LSRTV and CRN here at Virtual Richmond Raceway as Sean Brightsman rolls the dice, gambles, does not pit. He'll be the leader when we come back to green.
Drag race to the line.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. Here at Hercules Foundation Repair, we are here to help with our free in-home evaluations and personal repair plans. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection.
Just about 10 laps away to the halfway mark of this race. It'll be 90 laps to go. Me and Jason were kind of talking about that strategy a few moments ago. Could have that been the money stop for many drivers? For Sean Brightsman, Jason, he rolls the dice. He does not come down to the pit lane. He's got used tires and obviously a less fuel cell than everyone else as we'll get ready to come back for the restart here on lap number 71.
Yeah, we're coming down to the restart right here. Sean Brightsman, will this gamble pay off here? They head through the restart zone. Great fire-off speed from the 46 machine. Actually gets away from Devin West, and Ryan Bloom now opened up the door for him. He'll head to the bottom in 1 and 2 per second.
All this going on again on the restart. It's Dan West Jr. starting to pile in back to the top 5 to run down more. Brightsman, his teammate, and Devin West quickly going back to the lead. Brightsman free falling, and you would have expected that, Jason, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, these tires just are not going to hold out right now for Sean Brightsman, with obviously him staying out and whatnot. So he's going to continue to fall back. This is not going to play into his strong suit. He's just going to continue to fall through this field.
Free falling, if you will, down the back straightaway. Close it in. Man, look at this. Charles, I didn't know if you could hear me earlier. I know you had a phone conference. I wonder if we could go on board with one of the drivers on board camera. Maybe Sean Brightsman, maybe Roy Grande, somebody like that. And I want to see what it's like as we got Stephen O'Hare in trouble in the 41. He keeps rolling. No, we got a caution. Truck in the fence. The 81 machine is in trouble. O'Hare and Carrillo might have got with one another. Caution out. So much for that. And we go back to a replay here, Jason, of what happened.
Yeah, let's take a look at break this down here for a second. So you see the 81 of Carrillo down into the corner. Enters a little bit high here, and then I believe he's just going to get right up into the wall. You see everybody getting in front of him, backing it down. Brian Barnes does a great job in the popsicle machine to break it down. And yeah, I mean, that could have been a much more massive wreck. Yeah, it definitely did. You saw Lowther go around there. I believe he was the driver that went around.
Lowther and O'Hare, maybe. Here's a look at another replay on the 63. Remember, Lowther went for a crazy shot off the safer barrier and crashed at turn 1. Oh, my. Drove under the back end of Paulison. And nowhere to go for those guys. And that's what caused the caution. Whatever was going on with O'Hare, I think that was right because he was getting on the binders to miss it. As we got guys under the pit lane here. Obviously, Jason, no doubt, I'm Sean Brightsman on pit road. He's got a pit.
Yeah, he's definitely got a pit. There's no point in staying out for Sean Brightsman. If I'm him right now, I'm coming down to the pits, taking them 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. Don't risk staying out and hurting yourself, but that doesn't look like he's coming into the pits this time.
He doesn't pit.
Wow.
I thought maybe he was being strategic and was thinking that there was going to be a caution after that restart. Cautions, precautions, mind you, and pit then, but obviously he's not done it yet. Wow. I'm surprised here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, again, these guys are on such better tires than you. You're staying out after 67 laps than those guys pitted, and you're still staying out 78 laps. I understand if everybody else doesn't pit, but with these guys that pitted, it's just not a good call.
Let's go down to the pit lane, and our producer director Charles Wooten has info for us. Good evening, Charles.
Well, you know, first off, we're at the concession stand. We're not,
get a bologna burger.
But yes, radios work everywhere. I had to go and confirm. Jeff's no longer here, obviously not in the race. He's called it a night. But I talked to Sean, and you know, we're seeing all these people getting loose and spinning and getting into each other in turn 2. So I had to confirm they're actually concerned about a rubber patch buildup out of turn 2 and down the back stretch, and it's making, I guess, really slick. That's where you're seeing all these guys get into each other, and you know, when they get real loose coming out of the corner, that's where you're seeing it. There's like a rubber buildup, and it's causing issues on handling.
Interesting. Thank you for that update. And Jeff Stapp now has retired from the race as well. Jason, that fall off that he referred to, could that really make this race obviously very, very interesting and maybe change the way these drivers are racing right now as we get ready for a restart? Lap number 81.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you know, with the fall off being so drastic with these tires and whatnot here on the short tracks, it's just so hard to keep the tires on it. When you don't have fresh tires compared to everybody else, it's just so difficult to keep it on the track.
Halfway here at Richmond. 80 down, 80 to go. And Devin West is the leader. Let's watch him work the corner. Charles, I was going to say, buddy, can you put us on board with one of these drivers' in-car camera and see what it's like driving through this fog around the racetrack here at Richmond? Maybe we could put right on board with maybe the mid-pack or somebody like,
I think we might
traffic around them. There you go.
Oh, there you
All right,
go.
Roy Grande. With Roy Grande, look at this. What's this like, Jason?
Chaos, pretty much. All around chaos for the driver of the number 11 machine. I mean, the visibility is not that bad compared to what it is up at the top of the pylons and whatnot for the TV cameras for us here. But, oh my goodness, what an overshoot there going into the corner. Great job to not run to the back of Jordan Person there into turn number 1. But, yeah, it's just really, as a driver right now, you got to just try to make moves when you can. Obviously, be mindful of those around you. Everything here happens so quickly. And you can only intake so much that your mind can take, obviously, here. Oh, we almost had a spin there in the back of the field. I believe that might have been one of the white trucks possibly there. Yeah, oh, there we go. Car around.
That's the 12 of Brian Reynolds. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. We still stay green. Nobody in sight. He takes a tow. He might be out. Aerial coverage for tonight's race, as always, provided by LSRTV, your home for sim racing. Look at how just foggy it is from that view there, Jason, from above.
Yeah, it's so foggy, obviously, up here at the top of up at the top here in the blimp with aerial coverage. It's like you can't even see them, honestly. Some of these trucks are so well blended in that you can't even see them. It's like the brighter trucks, obviously, you could see them. So much better from that aerial coverage here. Sun's starting to peek out, though. Look at this. First time we've seen it all day.
The sun is coming out. Starting to see peaks of sunshine, rays of sunshine on the 3/4 mile Richmond Raceway. We got trouble. Wrecking in the grass. Johnson and some other drivers rolling away. Will still stay green. Brett Johnson. No caution, Jason. Lap 86, 87.
All because it's all below the racing surface. We've talked about it countless times, and it definitely won't be the last that we'll talk of it here on iRacing. When you get turned below the racing surface, no matter how massive the wreck is, it is on non-raceable surface. You could have a 12-car pileup down in the grass. iRacing will not deem it as a yellow flag. They do not care for your feelings or your race car. So that's interesting to see there. We've seen about 4 wrecks tonight where we have seen drivers probably go off track and we have had no caution. And to touch on what you said about Brian Reynolds going around there on the back straightaway, obviously, destroying the front end, his night has come to an end.
Tough break for the 12. And there's Toby Ritters. By the way, Toby Ritters right now in 7th. And he is no longer in the 23. He is in the number 3 Chevrolet. High Ace Racing number 3. And I don't think he's a part of Win Racing anymore also. He might have left the team.
Yeah, I tell you what, though. I love the Clifford the Big Red Dog scheme he had the last year. But, man, that 3 car with the chrome is so sharp. I absolutely love it. It looks beautiful. And he's having a great run here tonight. And even Wesley last year, he had a great run as well. He finished up inside the top 10, actually came home 6th out of the 17 drivers. So this is a track for Toby Ritters that he is used to running well at. So great to see Clifford running up inside the top 10.
If Rose Ritters or somebody from the Ritters family are tuning into the broadcast like I know they always are, if they could give us some information in chat, that would be so greatly appreciated. We're wondering if he has departed from Win Racing. And what was the reason behind changing the number? I like it. I like the chrome, the chroma key, if you will, red color for the number 3 of Ritters. Behind him, obviously, Tyler King, Kevin Smith. And you remember, he used to have the colors of what Smith used to have on the 00. He used to have it on the 23, but not anymore. I wonder if they departed. Toby is no longer with Win Racing, so it is official, Jason. He is not with the Win Racing team anymore. He is now with a team called Ace High Racing. And there it is. There's your story behind it right there.
Yeah, well, maybe this is going to be a good thing for Toby Ritters. Maybe he can finally find victory lane again, working with a different group of guys or whatnot. So we'll see. I mean, this season so far, you look at him in the point standings. Toby runs currently 8th in the points, 28 back. He's only got 1 top 10 so far this season out of the 3 we ran. So Toby might very well do better this season. We'll have to find out. Remember, last win came at Talladega towards the end of 2022. He is definitely hungry for a win.
The Beaver State Racing number 21, King, making a run off the corner. There is, of course, Smith, Chris White behind them. This is all behind the top 10. Ritters is in 8th position, by the way, as we're a handful of laps of approaching lap 100 here at Richmond Raceway.
Great battling going on throughout this entire field right now. You see Tyler King, he's finally able to get down to the bottom of Toby Ritters. Could possibly open up the door for drivers like Smith and White right behind them. Remember, Christopher White was outside the top 20 a handful of laps ago. He has now found himself back just barely outside the top 10 and 11, having a great recovery in the number 56 machine here as well on lap 98.
Watching this battle continue, probably the best battle on the racetrack between Ritters, King, Smith, his former boss. As Smith just hit the wall into the safer barrier, the 00. How bad did he damage it? I don't think he hit it that hard. He's okay. He'll keep on rolling. But they are going to get back single file.
Single file down the back. Here comes Tyler King back down to the inside. Thought about going for a move on Ritters. Had to back it up big time. Opened up the door for Kevin Smith to go to the top shelf. And they hit the line this time side by side. Smith will take the 9th position currently. And Tyler King still on the bottom, rolling around the corner through 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. Pretty wheel being held for Kevin Smith. Wasn't loose off corner exit. Still side by side. Now he gets clear of the 21 as he tries to attack on Ritters.
Started to see a little sun peek through the fog clouds here at Virtual Richmond, but then it got really foggy again. You're on board now with Kevin Smith, seeing what it's like to negotiate around it. Got a run on Ritters on the inside. Kevin Smith clears the 3. No, he doesn't. Ritters not backing down on lap 100. 60 to go at Richmond.
Yeah, Toby really wants to be up in this top 10 right now here as they head back into turns 1 and 2. Obviously doing a great job in that number 3 truck here tonight. Again, finished top 10 and 6 1 year ago here at Richmond in the playoffs. So trying to continue that streak. He slides up right in front of Kevin Smith, and Kevin tried to cross over. He's going to spin through the grass, and he saves it. No caution.
Smith spins into the grass. He's in the bottom of the racetrack. No yellow flag, as my colleague Jason just reiterated on. Smith now back in 16th spot as he battles with now Chad Malik, and way to go, Toby Ritters not backing down on the 00.
Yeah, that was all about the 00. I mean, the 3 held his ground. He did nothing wrong there coming off turn number 4. Kevin Smith just tried to do the crossover move while he was still coming up the racetrack. Ultimately, just spun himself out. Great recovery, though, but now he's all the way back at 16.
See where Ritters is able to stay in the 8th spot is right now. Here comes this battle on the outside. This is Hunter's. Gamble and Hunter going at it. Robert Gamble, Ron Hunter, Stephen O'Hare. Battle for the lead as it's a cat and mouse game between LSRTV and Win Racing. Weston Bloom now in 3 and 4, Jason.
Yeah, Devin West able to get back to that race lead, and Brian Bloom trying to take it back here as he heads down to the bottom of the racetrack. Thought about it for a quick second. Win Racing versus LSRTV. Back to turn number 2. It's still Devin West with the advantage. He gets loose. He almost hits the wall. Opens up the door for Bloom, but he maintains it. Devin West keeps the lead back to 3.
He made a little wiggle there. And this allows the 25 of Brian Bloom to get the clear. He's on the inside. Is he there? The run is door to door, side by side. Remember, we mentioned how treacherous it's been off that second turn. They negotiated perfectly, but Dennis Moore is reeling him in into 3.
Dennis Moore trying his best to catch up to those top 2 right now. Ryan Bloom doing a great job putting the pressure on Devin West. like he did many laps ago where Devin West ultimately made a mistake, slid up the racetrack, fell back to third, and even just gave him another mistake coming off turn 2 a couple laps ago. Ryan Bloom hunting down the 5 machine.
So we're about over 100 laps into it. Let's take a look at the race summary so far in the Ford Owners 160, bottom left of the monitor, presented by Virginia811.com. How about this, Jason? 4 cautions, 18 caution laps, only 3 lead changes. What's your take of that race strategy so far?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see. Oh, you see Ryan Bloom big loose there for a minute off turn number 2. But yeah, I mean, we've had the cautions, but not that many also. Been great racing to see here with just now 50 laps to go remaining. I think Dennis Moore has the truck. I really do. He's just as fast as Devin West right now. If he could just get around Ryan Bloom, I think that number 44 machine might have something for the 5.
Jason, if we do get a late race caution here with under 50 laps to go, is track position worth more than pit position, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it all depends on probably who pits and who doesn't. I mean, if you have a ton of guys that stay out, it's going to be tough to get back up through the field. But I mean, if you have guys that don't pit a lot, then it's going to be easy to drive up through the field.
Welcome back to our coverage again. So far, a calm race at Richmond. Foggy, but calm. Couple of handfuls of moments. And let's be honest, if the caution flag would have came out the other times that we've had incidents at the bottom of the racetrack or in the infield grass on the front straightaway, then I would say probably we'd be at about 10 cautions, Jason. Here comes Brightsman, way off a strategy than anybody else coming down to the pit lane. He had to.
Yeah, he just had to right there, obviously. I mean, no doubt about it. He needed to pit, and it was just not a good call for Sean Brightsman to stay out as long as he did there. So heartbreaker for him, but maybe we'll have to see if obviously this can pay off for him in the long run.
Green flag pit stop, obviously also a totally different animal than whenever you're pitting under caution for sure. As Sean Brightsman, I think, tried to roll the dice. I think he thought maybe there'd be another caution. It did not happen. He's running out of fuel, running on fumes, running on worn tires. He had to come down to the pit lane. All the while, Devin West is still the leader. There he is right there in the number 5. Coming to the line on lap 115 now. 116 completed. As it is Devin West, Ryan Bloom, Dennis Moore. They were starting to make a run after him, Jason, but then they backed away. But here comes Bloom again going after the 5.
Yeah, Bloom has come back now to the 5 of Devin West, trying to get back to his rear bumper here into turns 3 and 4. I think Devin West, though, Wesley, is just struggling a little bit more. Ryan Bloom is definitely fast. Dennis Moore might even be faster. You see Bloom work to the outside in 1 and 2. Tries to get the run here off the corner. They both get a little loose, but here comes Ryan Bloom. He might get the run into 3.
Inside, Bloom there, 25, trying to run back down West again. West and Bloom, 1 and 2, closing in on 40 laps to go in the Ford Owners 160 here at Richmond. Round 4 tonight. Next week, we're going to Texas for Charles, the Cody's Frozen Custard 201. Is that one of your favorite dairy snacks? The Cody's Frozen Custard 201. The Cody's Red Bull 201. Oh well, I digress.
Taffy,
and then of course, Laffy Taffy. There you go. 3 wide. Look at Kynes in the middle, the monkey in the middle. Look at the 20th person. He had a problem earlier in the race. Look at him fight back.
Wow. Jordan Person, what a night for the 20 machine, obviously. He was so far back in the back of this pack earlier on in the race, and this is a name I have not seen. I believe this is his first start ever here, and now he's running just shy of the top 10. Great run for this 20 machine here tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up some information, guys, to see if Jordan Person has ran with the series before.
Yeah, he's just doing a really good job. I mean, this 20 machine, again, he started outside the top 10. I believe he started 15th. He's already up 4 spots from where he started, so he's running 11th, and he's closing in on Christopher White. He's actually faster than Chris White right now by almost 0.2 of a second, closing in that gap, doing a great job. Oh no, Chris White goes for a spin off turn number 4 through the grass, but he is able to save it. Shades of Kevin Smith, but look at this, we got a caution.
Yellow flag out, 5th time of the race with closing in on lap 125 here at Richmond, and oh boy, there you see what happened. The 05 poked up into our view. We'll see what happened to that man. The USA Folds of Honor 05 of Terry Ackerman. Here's a replay. And there is Jeff Stabnow still on the racetrack.
Oh.
And Ackerman and Johnson got together. Jeff Stabnow on the racetrack, 10 laps down, 11 laps down, but he was right around there when all that happened. He was able to continue along, but wow. Everybody's pitting, Jason. Everybody's pitting lap 125, money stop.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the money stop. You got what you got right now, unless the late caution comes out if you would like to come to pit road, but it's going to be difficult to see what happens here. We're going to restart this race probably with less than 30 laps to go. I can only imagine here, so you got to have a great pit stop right here.
So pit stops underway here. The only person that I would say that this would be in favor for, Jason, is going to be for the driver of Sean Breitzman.
Yeah.
Sean Breitzman, though, Sean Breitzman is a lap down. So does he take the wave around and get back on the lead lap? I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's going to have to. I mean, it was a great call, obviously. He's only got a few laps on his tires, but still, he's a lap down. He's going to be starting at the back there. Definitely not what you wanted to see here, but Devin West, though, still going to maintain this race lead right now.
Did West not pit?
No, he did. West did pit.
Yeah,
everybody
he did
pitted.
pit. Okay, he did. Yeah, okay, so that's what's about to happen. You see all these trucks in front of the leader? They're going to go for the wave around here. When we get the one to go, you're going to watch these guys go for the wave around, and this is going to put Sean Breitzman back on the lead lap because you got guys like Sean Breitzman, Brett Johnson, Cushman, I believe, all these guys, 1 lap down or more, they're going to at least get one of their laps back, and Sean Breitzman will go back on the lead lap, Jason.
Yeah,
strategy
he's going
for
to
the
get back on the
46.
lead lap. Yeah, but still, he's going to be in the back of this field here. This is definitely not going to work out for the 46. He's going to need the caution. More than likely, he's just going to have to straight up drive through this field here. I just don't see this working out for the 46.
Well, if we get late race caution strings, this might change it up for him to, try to get back into this here. So we'll see what's going to happen. As obviously closing in on 30 laps to go here in the Ford Owners 160. We'll wait for the field to come to the start-finish line, and the one to go indication will be given, and then you're going to watch all these guys, led by Sean Breitzman first, fly by the pace car, and that's exactly what they're doing right now as everyone else is getting 2 by 2 with 1 to go.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting restart here. We're going to get the restart with 31 laps to go. Does Devin West have the short run speed to medium speed or medium run speed to hold off the rest of this field here? It's just going to be interesting to see. I think Dennis Moore and Ryan Bloom have the speed there, but look at Dan West Jr. trying to get 2 wins in a row. And how about Kenneth Garber running in that 5th position, doing a great job as well. This is going to be an interesting one.
31 laps to go when they come back to the start-finish line. Devin West, another great restart after a flawless pit stop strategy, putting him back to the lead. But like you said, Dennis Moore, Ryan Bloom, they're hungry, and Bloom's in the wall! Ryan Bloom hits the concrete! Here comes Garber, here comes West, here comes Daggett flying
around!
And they're wrecking, and there's trouble! Around goes the 25 and 4! Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
You knew it was bound to happen. Look at the replay. Watch the 25. It started, Jason, right there when he hit the safer barrier. And then it made everybody check up behind him. Oh, is that Tidrick? Tidrick into him.
That's such a heartbreaker for Ryan Bloom. Last year's winner here. So fast. Possibly was faster, arguably, you could say, than Devin West, and now he finds himself around.
Tidrick in to the left rear, the 25 of Bloom, spun him around. Jason, what a drive for the 94 of Kenneth Garber. Casey Garber up to 3rd now in the Chevrolet machine.
Man, imagine if Kenneth Garber was able to steal this one away from Devin West and Dennis Moore, who have been pretty much 1, 2, 3. All race long with Ryan Bloom, and now Kenneth Garber finds himself P3. He's got a really good shot at winning this.
And you got to think also, Jason, does this strategy help Sean Brightsman any? With that caution just coming back out, 20. Guys are pitting. They're going behind the wall. Sean Brightsman's going to climb the scoring pylon. He might end up in the top 20 when we come back for a restart.
Yeah, but again, these guys have a little bit fresher tires than him here. I mean, they're going to outrun the 46 machine, and even though he's still far back there, I mean, he gets a few cautions. He could be up there. I just don't see it happening here with less than 30 to go.
38 trucks took the green flag for this event. A foggy race here at Richmond. I think in all of the years of covering iRacing, I don't think I've ever called one for LSRTV with this much fog for the Northwest Series. What is the sim time for this race, by the way? Can anybody let me, Charles, can you tell me what sim time is? I'm just wondering what you know, Jason, it looks like it's kind of in the morning time for me, honestly.
Yeah, I believe it's just afternoon. It's just with the partly cloudy skies and the cloud cover. That's just what it looks like right now. Look at the amount of cloud cover. I mean, it's definitely gotten a little better, but it is still really foggy out here.
Sam time, just very cloudy right now. Let's take a look at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions if we can, with under 30 laps to go. Bottom right of the monitor, let's see if it's changed any. Wow, look at that. Track temp at 91 degrees. It is windy, and 71 for air temp now. We'll go 2x2 for a restart, Jason. Not over yet. 25 to go, my friend.
Oh, yeah, this is going to get really, really interesting right here. I'm excited to see this here. I mean, with less than 30 laps to go, you got 2 drivers who have been up in the top 5, top 3 all night long. I mean, what's going to happen here? Dennis Moore, who has probably been maybe even faster than Devin West. Devin has dominated this race, but then you got drivers who are really hungry for that first win of the season. Troy Daggett's there, who has had an excellent start to the season. We talked about how he was outside the top 10. Look at him now, trying to continue that top 5 streak. Back
underway. What a great restart again for the driver of the number 5. And look at this. Dan West Jr. into Dennis Moore.
Oh!
They're all trying to get by one another. There's contact. And Dan West Jr. just went from the penthouse to the outhouse. Dennis Moore's in the snake's patch. And he goes around Malik into 33 on the bottom of the racetrack. With Stay Green. No caution. Boy, Malik's got to be, you know what? And there's a caution now as Chris White's in the backwards in the safer barrier going to turn 1. Oh no.
My gosh. This race has gone off the rails here so far. Look at the amount of drama we've had in like the last 20 laps. It's crazy.
Oh, we had a feeling it would happen. Look at this now. Wow. Man, oh man. Conversation is saying they think the 44. Oh man, look at this. Wow. .44 into the 55, but now they think better of it, I guess. I don't. Wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble. Oh. Lap 140, 20 to go. Let's take a break. We'll also pause real quickly for network identification as we are approaching a quarter to the hour. We'll take you to the finish here from Richmond next. Oh boy, strap in.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Drag race to the line.
Back here at Richmond, under 20 laps to go. The lights off on the pace car, and we'll go back to green flag. Oh boy, Jason, this race has turned over on its axis, no doubt, man. It feels like it's the lunar solar eclipse again here like last Monday.
I think it might be a little bit different than the lunar solar eclipse, but hey, this has been an interesting race. Going to be 18 laps to go right here. What does Kenneth Garber have for the 5 machine? Troy Daggett, Toby Ritters, Jordan Person in the 20 machine. So many new players up here. We're about to find out.
Field on pit road. Pace cars in. Back to green. 18 to go at Richmond. By the way, it is the Ford Owners 400. The only driver that has a Ford that has a chance to threat for win is Tyler King in 5th. Paul Newton is back in 9th. Don't know if a Ford is going to win this race, Jason. 17 to go.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting here. Obviously, with 18 laps to go, everybody's still fighting and clawing for... Oh, we got a caution. I believe it's Sean Brightsman.
No, Paulison. Did Brightsman get caught up in it? That's the question. Here's a look at a replay. We'll find out. There's Dan West Jr., Paulison. 3 wide. Oh, boy. There's Brightsman up ahead, behind them. Clear path. Oh, wow. Harris into Paulison. Barnes, nowhere to go. Wow. Tough break there for the 58. What is that, Jason? Second time he's been involved in an accident, ain't it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, this race, just after that one caution, it's just we've gotten a plethora of cautions, so much chaos all over the place. Devin West, though, still leading. Troy Daggett has moved up into 2nd. Look at Daggett. Might have something for this 5 machine.
What a difference over 40 laps makes. Let's take a look at the race summary now. The last time we looked at it, it was 4 cautions. We've now, Jason, in less than, 10, 15 laps? Doubled that.
Crazy. Look at that.
Back to back to back to back. Cautions, 8 now. That's brought to you by Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. Devin West, the man that has been the fastest on the track, 21.715. Devin West, the pole car, the pole machine, set fast time. Winner last week at Vegas, obviously, was his father, Dan West Jr. And if Devin West can hold on and not overreach, Jason, it will be the first 4 races of the year won by drivers for Team LSRTV, and that is joining Stab now, Brightsman, West Jr., his father. And if West's son can get it done, there's one guy they got to worry about, and that's Brett Johnson, to try to get them in the playoffs for all 5 drivers.
Yeah, that would be crazy to see here. I mean, it's been pretty much LSRTV this entire day, and it's just awesome to see the amount of teams that have been able to come out here and obviously perform the way they did. We thought it was going to be LSRTV and Win Racing, but look at the amount of different teams that are up here, obviously different drivers we haven't really talked about all night long that now have a chance to go out and win this race. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's got Troy Daggett, the 99, Ryan Gormley, Kenneth Garber. I mean, look at Troy Daggett. Troy Daggett has been consistent since the season started, and he is 2nd in the points, 3 points back, tied also with Ryan Gormley. And look at this. What do you know? Troy Daggett, Ryan Gormley, Jason on the track. They're 2nd and 3rd. Stab now has a bad night tonight. He's 10, 12 laps down or more. This could give Gormley or Daggett the points lead for the regular season championship also, leaving Richmond.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see what goes on here on this restart. I mean, you have Troy Daggett, who sits there in 2nd. Remember, looking for that first win. But, again, 4th race of the season. He is the only driver to go 3 for 3 with top 5s. And right now finds himself in the top 5. It could be a 4 for 4, but hey, he would love to get that win.
Next week, on to No Limits, Texas. Texas Motor Speedway next Monday night for the Cody's Frozen Custard 201. And we'll wrap up the first leg of the races of the season, round 6, with the Breadbasket 201 at Kansas to round out the month of April. Back to green, 11 to go here at Richmond, and Devin West with another fantastic restart Gormley, Daggett, second, third, tied in points, battling second, third on the track on the back straightaway.
Look at Gormley with the run he's got down the back straightaway here. He heads down to the inside of Daggett for second. This is everything that Devin West wants to see here. 10 laps to go this time by. He's got about a 2 truck length advantage over Gormley and Daggett.
Gormley inside into the 99 to Daggett. Behind them, King and Garber. Tyler King is the Ford on the racetrack right now. And now a bonsai move. Trying to go after him is Garber on the outside. Gormley trying to fight back for third. 9 to go at the line, and there's a caution. Caution is out again.
Oh, boy.
This is, I believe, Malik in 33. Chad Malik. And here's a replay. Him and Fletcher alongside. Yep, right there. Gave him room, let him correct. Not that time. Here he comes.
The 28, I think, thought that Bloom was going to get into him there, and the 28 had to run it so deep, and he just got into the 33.
No harm, no foul. I wouldn't say that was intentional to try to take out Chad Malik. He had so much power diving into the corner, Jason, and when he hooked him, it just nowhere to go, basically. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. I mean, again, for the 28 machine, he just had to get in there hard because I think Ryan Bloom was trying to put it 3 wide, but just couldn't really, put it in there enough. And then the 28 just slid right up, obviously, into the 33, and that's what happened.
Devin West on pit road. Does he pit? No, he does not. Neither does anybody else except for Malik on pit road, Reynolds on pit road, and I believe they said pit road's closed. Yeah, pit road is closed right now. Chad Malik went to pit road when pit road was closed, but, I mean, he's obviously going to go to the tail of the win of the line anyway because he was the cause of the caution. Jason, what do you do? What do you do if you're guys like Gormley in the 99 and or the 22 and Daggett in the 99? What do you do? Do you look at points racing more than trying to get a W? Do you maybe try to be conservative and back off and just try to survive Richmond with a top 5 finish and risk maybe wrecking?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, if you're a driver up in this top 5, you have a shot to win, especially these first 2 rows, like Gormley, Garber, Daggett, and West. I mean, West obviously is going to go for the win. That's all he wants to do is win. Man, it's just hard. I mean, if you're up in the top 4, all you want to do is win. I mean, if you have the opportunity, get to the 5. If not, you just got to try to struggle, or not struggle, but just salvage the best day that you can.
Devin West out in front tonight, made his 158th career start in Northwest competition. He's got 23 wins, 89 top 5s, 110 top 10s in his career. If he wins tonight, it would be win number 24 of his career if he gets it done. And the defending series champion as well, Jason, in the 5.
I really like Troy Daggett on this restart, but I think that this 5 of Devin West here with 4 laps to go, Gormley and Daggett are more than likely going to get side by side here. I don't know what they're going to have for this 5.
Daggett in his 162nd career start. He has no wins in Northwest competition except for the All-Star non-points events like the duels at Daytona. We're back to green. 5 laps to go. Make it 4 to go now. Daggett on the outside. Got a run on him. Clears by Gormley. Can he get to the 5? Nope, they're single file.
Daggett's right there, though. He's almost to the 5 machine here, coming to 3 laps to go. Oh, Gormley gives him the bump, though. Caution's out.
And a caution is
Oh,
out.
man.
Yellow flag will fly again. We'll find out what happened. Ryan Bloom this time might have been involved, possibly. Man, oh man, let's see what took place here. Another look at it. There's Kevin Smith stacking up. Chris White, Fletcher behind them. And nowhere to go for Bloom. Crossed over into the inside of the racetrack. And around goes the 25 of Ryan Bloom. At one time, Jason, remember, he was up in the catbird seat to try to battle for a win. A look at it from a replay from the top.
Just a heartbreaker for him, no doubt about it. I mean, he was just so fast all night long here. I mean, it was just a night of what could have been, you know, but everybody's just being so aggressive here late in the go and trying to get as many positions as they can. Unfortunately, just comes right up into the 56 of Chris White. Nowhere he could really go. Just Ryan Bloom trying to come up and get as many positions.
Overtime is upon us. We're going to get 2 attempts at overtime this year for the series. And if I remember correctly, Jason, I believe this is the first overtime of the year, isn't it? I think so. Yeah. I don't think we had any. Yeah, Daytona was flawless. Atlanta, Las Vegas last week was flawless. First overtime of the year coming up on deck.
Again, you know, we're going to restart now with 2 laps to go. I think Devin West has got this. I mean, Troy Daggett did a great job getting to him into turn number 3 off turn 2. But again, Ryan Gormley gave the bumper to the 99 machine. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get past this 5.
Troy Daggett, as I mentioned, never a winner in the series for Northwest competition. He might have won like the duels, non-points events, Jason. We know that, but I got to say, man, what a year Troy Daggett's having this year in the 99, right now in second. And, you know, part of him I know might wants to be points racing, but there's another part of this guy that says, dang it, I want to win. I want to be the guy to finally get that first career Northwest win. 10 top 5s, 38 top 10s for the driver Troy Daggett, but it's a goose egg for the win column. Could that change tonight? He'll be on the outside for the restart.
It might right here. I mean, he's just going to have to get a really, really good restart on this here. I'm just going to keep saying it. I really don't know. The 22 is easily going to get to the inside of the 99. The best thing for Daggett is just stay on the 5s board. You know, you have to pressure him, pinch him down, make him uncomfortable into turn 1 if you get the good restart. We're going to find out right here.
Lights off on the pace car. Finally starting to see some clearing here at foggy Richmond all day long. Finally starting to see a little glimmer of a better visibility. And then it gets foggy again to the back stretch. And obviously aerial coverage presented by LSRTV. And you can still see it's foggy up in the air from the clouds. Let's go to overtime. Leader has to take the white flag or we do another attempt. Devin West, perfect in the box, rolls in. He's out. He's down to the inside for the restart into 1.
The 99 tried to pinch him down a little bit, but he couldn't do it. And here comes Ryan Gormley. He's trying to move for second now as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Will we see the white flag? That's all Devin West wants to see. They battle behind him. Looks like they're getting really antsy, but white flag's in the air. Wesley, Devin's going to get it.
Final time around, the CRN 1 to go. Ryan Gormley now clears by Daggett. Crossover move to the inside. Daggett back to the bottom. Garber, the 94, will follow. Down into turn number 3. Here comes Devin West. Can you say 1, 2, 3, 4 wins for LSRTV to start the year? Father West won last week in Vegas. Son Devin West, defending champion, wins here in Richmond tonight. He'll take the Ford Owners 160. Oh, and by the way, Jason, it's from the pole. He started from P1.
Yeah, well, remember last week whoa! Don't know what's going on there, but I mean, the 5 machine was so strong last week. Remember, I believe he did start on the pole last week. Great run for the 5 machine tonight. Pretty much dominated here.
Devin West going to burn it down here at the start-finish line. And any moment now, there's going to be the Northwest high-five salute. It's only fitting Daddy comes in. Ritters, Person, Tidrick with a hard T-bone shot. He is airborne and crashes into the pit lane. Oh. Our send-off at the end of the night. You got to love it. This race didn't have enough caution flags. Now we're going to have... What the hell? What are they doing? What's Gormley doing? Gormley. Oh, wow. He took out Daggett. Did you see him hit Daggett, Jason? I mean, he hit him. He made it a bullseye for the 99. He was not looking for anyone else. Oh, I don't think we're done crashing yet. Here's Bryce Clark in the 93. Come on, buddy. Get up to speed. Like the little engine that could. Wow. Brett Johnson flying down pit road. By the way, Jason, there's only one more guy left to win for Team LSRTV, and that's